Hi everyone, welcome to another first-time bass singer reaction and analysis. My name is Peter Barber. I am primarily a professional opera singer, music producer, and of course a bass vocalist. Now, today we're going to be checking out In the Hall of the Mountain King, performed all a cappella by VoicePlay, featuring Elizabeth Garozzo. It looks like an Italian last name, Garozzo. Y'all can fact check me in the comments. One cool thing before we jump in, you guys know I plug my Patreon every time I do a video. This is a Patreon sweatshirt. This was sent to me a few weeks ago because I was personally invited by Patreon to be part of the Patreon Ambassador Program. So there are only, I think, a few hundred creators in this. So it's a huge, huge honor. I guess they really liked what I was doing with my content. They like how my patrons are responding. They like the community that I have created over there on Patreon. So guys, if you are getting value out of my musical analysis, if you're having fun watching these videos I do, or if you want to support me in my own music I make, consider checking out and donating to my Patreon monthly for as little as $1 a month. The people who have joined get a lot out of it. I think we're up to 226 patrons, which is very exciting. So I just want to plug that because they sent me this sweatshirt and it's very, very comfortable and I love it. So thank you, Patreon. You're awesome. Thank you for giving a platform for artists like me to support ourselves while we are growing our brand and so on. But today, y'all, it's about VoicePlay. Please like, please subscribe, please hit the bell for notifications. And yeah, I just want to jump straight in. I got my Vipers ready for Jeff craziness. I've got my keyboard ready. Let's do it. Okay, that is F#1 to B1 chest from Jeff right out of the gate. Just starting off on an F#1 chest. That's absurd. All right. Okay, so right now we have some bell tones. I'm sure Marwan would greatly approve of this intro. They're doing like a lot of arpeggiation. We have Jeff outlining the bass line, and the chord structure is then filled out by the upper harmonies here. Also, by the way, I've now paused twice in the first few seconds. This is an analysis video. It's a first-time reaction and analysis video. People still questioning why I pause, and this is not just a reaction video. So I will leave a link below if you want to watch the original video all the way through. I highly suggest it. Then come back to my video after you've seen this, and then you can learn a lot about what's happening musically. Anyway, this is an analysis. I will be pausing. Let's keep going. Oh my gosh. All right, so we have, it's very minimal right now. You know, no one is holding any chords. There's no block chords. There's no sustained pitch. It's all short articulations. Also, these costumes are incredible. I love how far they went in on this. So what we're getting from Caesar is very much like, it's very voice acty. It's like, he's obviously not trying to sing. This is meant to be very much a character-driven moment. And I'm kind of assuming that's going to happen throughout the piece a lot. It's going to be very character-driven, a lot of like creepy, fun acting. But of course, it's a cappella, and from what I've heard, it's a pretty insane arrangement. Probably from Lane. Lane, I think, usually does their arranging. Y'all can fact check me on that as well. And he's a brilliant, super creative arranger. I think VoicePlay has some of, if not the most creative arrangements in the a cappella world, truly. But right now we're getting very minimal singing and a lot of more like voice acting. Yeah, complete like voice acting, obviously like an unhealthy pitch production where Ellie is intentionally putting like, it's not a very forceful, gritty sound, but he's introducing a lot of turbulence to the vocal folds. When vocal folds are phonating naturally, oscillating naturally, they look kind of like this, except it goes really, really, really fast, like even faster than hummingbird wings. It's amazing how fast vocal folds move. And what you're doing when you introduce grit and turbulence is there's more of like the folds kind of mashing together as opposed to this nice clean phonation. So that's what we're getting in Ellie's voice. Caesar's was more just like breathy, which means the vocal fold closure is pretty weak. He's allowing more breath to come through. He's not getting a pure tone. And then Ellie takes that one step further, adds grit to it. So not only is there not good vocal fold closure, but there's also vocal fold turbulence going for it, which results in a breathy, gritty sound. So then when Elizabeth joined in, the backgrounds are picking up. Now we are getting more of a wall of sound. There's more stacking happening. And of course, you can hear, I mean, we start off with Jeff at the very beginning going from F sharp 1 to B1 pure chest, unreal. And they're slowly adding higher and higher harmonies until now we've got, I believe it was Caesar and Ellie, while Elizabeth was taking this solo, the instrumental solo, in this section, they were starting to go up into what you normally hear from them, which is the higher tenor harmonies. Starting on a B1 chest and Jeff's. So this is the main thing. Bum 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 bum. That's the main theme of this piece, and I'm sure all of you have heard this piece in movies or shows. It's usually when the showrunners want to introduce a sense of growing madness within a scene. It's like crazier and crazier stuff happens throughout the scene so you've got it gets faster and faster. That's how the song goes. It gets faster and faster, and I believe it also modulates upwards. Two things that are guaranteed, literally based on our human physiological response to like get us revved up. The same kind of technique is used in electronic music when you've got like, and then it goes faster and faster, and usually in the background you've got some synths going like while that's happening. And so both those things at the same time really rev up. It just like revs up our engines, and you almost can't even control it unless you're consciously making an effort to control it. That's kind of what happens with this song the whole way through. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But yeah, Jeff, beautiful low chest bass line starting on a B1 there. It's really interesting. I don't know if he's trying to do it staccato, but it's weird. It sounds like, it almost sounds like on the bum 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 on the way down that he's almost like out of breath a little bit. Listen to that. It's interesting. So on the way up, you see how it sounds very full and consistent. And on the way back down, it's like he's, I don't know, yeah, weird. It sounds like he's a little bit out of breath or something. And then comes right back to it. Just on those boom, 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 boom. On the way down, it's, I don't know, it's like a little more air is escaping, or he's like sneaking breaths in between or something, but it doesn't maintain quite that beautiful, full, resonant chest sound that he gets throughout the rest of that entire passage, and how his voice usually is throughout his entire low chest range. It's really a remarkable voice he has. So now they're all in, I think, unison. Yeah, unison. Another B1 from Jeff. Okay, wow, a lot happening. We have some Ellie doing some quasi-operatic head voice, and then I think Jeff just landed on some kind of sub, which we're about to figure out what it is. Okay, there's a lot happening. There is a lot happening. I'm going to try and keep this under 30 minutes. We'll see, given how interesting this is so far. Let's talk about Ellie's operatic head voice for a second. Okay, so I don't know how much there's to say about that. What's he hitting here? So up to an E5. Okay, so we've heard him sing that high, not in full chest. Probably not in full chest. Probably some kind of, Ellie's known for his incredible rock belt, it's got a little bit of mix in there. This is obviously straight up falsetto, what he's doing here. There's a little bit of vibrato coming in, which of course I appreciate. If you guys haven't seen my marathon of an analysis on Nessun Dorma by the two boys from Home Free, check it out if you want to hear me go deep into operatic technique and the difference between operatic technique and other genres. A lot of people, it's my most popular video I've done in a little while. A lot of people are finding it very interesting, so go check that out. I'll leave a card right. Where's the card going to be? On my left? Here, I think? Yeah, okay. I'm in an F sharp 1. Subharmonic from Jeff this time, not full chest. This is really cool. So I love the drum beat. Obviously, not drum kit, not a part of the original. Obviously, I can't remember who composed it or when. I cannot remember. It sounds like something Orff would do. Orff wrote Carmina Burana, which has a ton of crazy music kind of like this. If I had to guess, I would guess Orff, but I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Someone will comment below for sure. What I like they're doing here is it's not like everyone's singing all at once. They're doing a lot of kind of give and take. They're doing a lot of playing off each other. Of course, this comes down to Lane's arrangement, but it's people jumping in and out, which is fun to hear and see. La 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 la. Here we go. La 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 la, dum dum dum. Like the switch between the la la las and the dum dum dums, and then so la la las, dum dum dums. Then Caesar doing that funny character voice with the breathy character voice again. And Ellie. That is more operatic. Yeah, I love that little staccato. Reminds me of the Queen of the Night aria. I will put a card or put a link in there. I'm sure you guys have heard it. Because there's a lot of very high, very staccato notes way up in the stratosphere. This is, of course, not as high as that. But this woman clearly sounds like she has had some kind of classical training because the notes sound supported and she opens up on the long pitches straight into a nice natural vibrato. whenever it's more than a split second, like whenever it's longer than those really short staccato notes, her voice is spinning, which is a good sign of breath support and delivery of air and the right amount of breath pressure here. Modulated? So that's a high A. That's almost up to a soprano high C. So that is high. Not as high as the Queen of the Night stuff, but it's getting way up there. I like Jeff's octave. And then Elaine's. There's so much happening. I'm going to try and keep it under half an hour, but this is really cool. I love how hard they're leaning into the delivery of it, the acting of it. They're getting weird, man. We've had this wonderful world-renowned opera director named Paul Karen at the Academy of Vocal Arts the last 2 weeks, and he's getting us, his main goal is basically to get us not caring and like being willing to be like totally open and expressive and like embarrass ourselves and make a fool of ourselves, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. The point is like expression. So like go for it, basically. And I'm sure he would approve of the craziness happening in this music video. Wow, really, really cool. Boom, 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 boom. So Jeff's, he was B's, and then he went, okay, let's. Down to a G1. Down to an E1 sub. So G1 chest, E1 sub. Wow. Really interesting. Oh, man. Okay, so there's all this perk happening, and they've got it panned in a way where it's like Lane's there going like, just like he's not like hitting like drum beats. It's just like, it's like sound, like little sound effects happening all around the spectrum here. My video records in mono, so go check out the original and just listen to the soundscape happening. And of course, the other singers are singing pitches, but the way in which they're singing, the way in which it's arranged, is kind of just adding to that badness of like we're in this weird forest with like bugs and like birds and other animals like creeping and jumping around. And there's melodies kind of going, one's going up, and I think the other one's kind of coming down. Yeah, so one's going up and the others are kind of coming down. And then Jeff is just doing some crazy. I'm gonna throw Jeff. I really like this bass line down to the E1 here, especially when he hits like the multiple E1s. Let's go. Oh my God. Did not expect that at all. I guess they're like drunk off this potion they've been drinking now. You know, it sounds, parts of it remind me a lot of Bohemian Rhapsody. Just the kind of like in and out of like operatic and non-operatic singing And just the thing about opera and classical music that's so unlike popular music. Popular music generally stays in one key, has the same chord progression. Maybe it modulates up or modulates to the dominant or something. Whereas classical music and opera, usually the keys are going all over the place. Like they'll modulate, come back to the original. It's crazy. And I think Bohemian Rhapsody does a good bit of that, especially in the middle section, mainly in the middle section. And we're getting it here too. Just the amount of jumping around there, do both in like terms of rhythm changes and like tempo changes, and even I think some key changes happening. Down to a C1 for Jeff there. Yeah, down to a C1. I was waiting for that B0, but Jeff has told us plainly that B0 is like a unicorn kind of note for him. He said he's pretty darn consistent down through D1 and C sharp 1. But once it gets below that, it's like a super rare occurrence. Wait, I want to hear that descent again. Alright, so here now we're getting faster. Even a little nod towards classical for Jeff too. That sounds like the Tra-la-la guy. You guys watch that video? I would love to hear Jeff train as an opera singer. That'd be really interesting. Another F sharp 1 sub, I think, from Jeff there. So what's happening now? I mean, they've got one motif, and they're all changing it, and they're all doing almost like they're really doing a big trade-off here. So someone go da 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 da, and they're all trading it all around the circle. It's really cool and keeps it very interesting. So the last section is when they really started revving the tempo up. So let's see if that keeps going or what. At this point, I have no idea what's coming next. This is like the least predictable cover I've seen. Yes. 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 Oh my God, you people know how much I love a drop. A trap or a dubstep drop, I am all in. Was not expecting that at all, and I absolutely love it. Wow, this is one of my, especially this section is one of my favorite things I've ever heard VoicePlay do. That was sick. So Jeff is just a sub, straight up subwoofer. B1 to G1, lining up with those drums, whatever it's doing, lining up. That's what you gotta have in a trap beat. Is the kick has to hit the same time as the sustained sub. You can either do that with just a straight up kick and a sine wave sub, or you can do it with like an 808, like a drum sample that is built in with a sub. Either one works if you're from the production side, but you got to have that in a trap beat. Also, what makes trap beats and drops really interesting is when you have tiny moments like all these little sound effects they're throwing in, where basically everything stops. And then you just hear like a quick little sound effect, especially something that's like high pitched, because you got this like super low bass, super low kick and sub action. And then you have like a whoop, then you have like a high pitched thing that just jumps in for a second, and then the wall of bass comes back. So they're doing it as far as trap goes, totally unrelated to acapella. They're checking the box of what makes an interesting trap beat and they're doing it with their voices. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a G6? Like a G6. That was a G6 from Elizabeth. That's really high. Also, Jeff with like a freaking year of F#1 subs. They're just like going through every genre. This is more like this is like pretty jazzy. I've only got a few minutes, so I'm gonna kind of let it play through the end, just see what other genres they do. That was so good. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of glad I just sat and watched the end of that, because it was really cool to watch that whole sequence. Okay, got like 1 minute. That was so good. So they didn't switch genres again. I'm glad, because I would have wanted to give that a full breakdown as deserved. But they did this cool breakdown at the end where any one of those repetitions could have been the ending to the song, but they kept going, and they kept again passing the baton around. I love that it went from like Jeff to Elizabeth, like the two most radically different voices in this ensemble. Like those two back to back is such a hilarious contrast. Because she goes C#6 to B5, and then Jeff of course I think starts on a B1 there, so it's like within a few seconds we've got a huge span. Man, I love this group. They really know how to have a lot of fun with their arrangements and their videos. Lane, Jesus, dude, this was really, really exceptional. I would love to see the sheet music for this, if there is any sheet music, if it's not just a demo, because I bet it looks totally bonkers. With all the tempo changes, the key changes, all those little, I don't know how much, I've never seen one of his arrangements physically. I don't know how much of the ad-libbing he throws in, or if they just do it in the studio. A lot of little extras usually professional groups put in the studio. They get like the foundation on sheet music, and they kind of turn it into something really special in the studio. That was really fantastic, guys. I hope you enjoyed my breakdown, my reaction of this. This was actually a particularly big reaction for me. And again, repping the Patreon shirt. Guys, I am officially a Patreon ambassador. There's a very small select few who get invited to this program. It's a huge honor. It means I'm doing something right over there on Patreon. So y'all should go check it out if you want to support me as an artist, if you want to see more videos like this. Go check that out. Otherwise, guys, that's it. I'm sure my camera has run out at this point. I'm over 30 minutes, but I felt it was necessary. And I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.